training call. So glad to have all of you guys with us. It's a full house. And I cannot wait to share tonight with you guys. This is, yeah, awesome. So awesome things have been happening. We've got lots of ranks, lots of things to celebrate. And I suppose the VIP brunch is filling up. Now, I believe what I've heard is about 20 or just under 20 spots left. So do whatever you can to be on that list. So for those of you that don't know what it is required to actually get to the brunch, it's Diamond leaders that have actually come together to be able to give back to all of you guys in paying it forward. And basically, we've organised a brunch in Sydney at the conference coming up at the end of October. And basically, there's less than 20 spots left to come along for brunch with us on us. And basically, what you need to do is rank platinum or above. It was supposed to be during the Blitz, but we had a few spots left, which is why we're extending it. So if you are close, or if any of your team is close, please make sure you dig deep so you can come and attend that, which will be on the Friday morning before conference. Now, also the cruise. I hope you have all got your bling out and your diamonds and your sparklies, because this cruise is going to be absolutely amazing. We've been so blessed with a larger boat. We were having to cap numbers at a smaller amount for the smaller boat, but because we just went over, they allocated a bigger boat. So there is still some tickets available. If you or any of your new team members want to come and celebrate with us on Thursday night before the conference, which is absolutely going to be awesome around the Sydney Harbour. And also, I hope you are looking out for your masquerades, because your masks for the masquerade ball, because that's what we're going to be doing on Saturday night after the awesome training that we're going to have in Sydney for the first ever Australia conference. So make sure you bring your mask, get dressed up, and let's have some fun. Now, tonight, I've got a really awesome guest speaker. Her name is Olivia White. She is a platinum leader in far north Queensland in Cairns. And I'm really excited to have her on the call today, because her journey is really quite remarkable, and how she actually was introduced to Nucerity and I suppose what she's now doing with it as a company. So Olivia, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me and see me?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I know you've just come back from a whirlwind trip around the country. But for those of you, that haven't met Olivia, tell us a little bit about yourself, Liv.
Okay, so I've been with Nucerity for 2 years now. I have really only just been doing it full-time in the last month. And I first came into Nucerity because I actually had adult acne that I was suffering from. So I never really had bad skin as a kid or a teenager, and then bam, in my mid-20s, I had really bad skin that covered my whole face. It was even on my back as well, so I had the beautiful back knee. And yeah, found out about Nucerity. Didn't want to know anything about it because I'd already spent 3 years trialing every other product on the market that didn't work. But then met you, Lil, and here I am today. Never thought that I would leave my job, never wanted to be self-employed, was always happy to work for the man, but always knew that whatever job I would work my way to the top. So I was never an underachiever. I never thought that I wanted to leave the security of working for somebody else and being self-employed. So yeah, it's a big transformation for me to be here today and talking to everybody as fully self-employed and yeah, working full-time as a Nucerity distributor.
And that's awesome, because I still very distinctly meeting you at an event in Cairns, and I remember you coming to suss out, the little, it was actually a friend of yours that owned a hair salon that was actually endorsing Skincerity or the Nucerity products, and you were sort of a little bit intrigued because you obviously trusted Annalisa, and that sort of brought you over to come and have a chat with us at this event, and it really was the last thing you were ever going to try, wasn't it, Liv?
Yeah, definitely. I'd heard through a couple of people, oh, you need to go and see Annalisa, you need to use her product, you need to use this thing, Skincerity, and I was like, no, I'm not using any more products, I've done it all, I've wasted enough money, I've wasted enough time, I'm going to go on Roaccutane, which is a really awful, awful drug to go on, but the side effects are that after about a year, you shouldn't suffer from this effects of acne anymore. And I actually looked into going into that or to using that drug prescription when I first broke out with this bad acne, but read all the side effects and was like, there is no way I'm taking that pill every day that can do that to your body just to clear my skin. Like, I'll find another way. But after 3 years, I still hadn't found another way, and I was just really, you know, depressed and insecure about my skin and just felt really shitty about myself. And yeah, it was quite funny that we happened to meet at that event, because I was actually like modeling for another friend who had a stall there. Yet my whole face was just caked with makeup because they were trying to cover up, you know, the craters that I had in my face and the pimple city that had just moved on in and never moved on out. So, yeah, and I just knew, even though I had all that makeup on, it had been done professionally, like I still felt insecure. I still knew that you could see, you know, the caked on makeup, and you could still see all the pimples and the craters and everything through the makeup. So, yeah, quite funny that I came over to still take a sneak peek of what it was all about, and then the beautiful Brenda Foley just grabbed my hand and started rolling it. And to be honest, Lil, it was actually just one sentence that you said to me, and it was that you'd witnessed yourself different clients that had been able to come off Roaccutane through using these products. And I honestly can't remember anything else that was said. It was just that one sentence, and I was like, oh, damn that she said that, because now I have to give these a go. Because I was actually really hating being on Roaccutane. I was suffering from all of the side effects. I could peel pieces of my lips off within 2 days of taking the drug. So I was like, oh, all right. So I signed up, and I literally didn't even know what I'd bought, let alone how to use it when I got home. So that was the funniest thing, rolling for the first night. And I remember just being like, doc face to my partner. I was like, I can't speak. Because I think I'd rolled like half a bottle on, trying to, yeah, make it work, or make sure it worked.
That's funny. That's funny. And I love you sharing that story, Liv. And I'm so happy that it's worked, because now every time I look at you, like, you just got the most beautiful face, and like most of the time you're actually makeup free, which is awesome. But
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about, I suppose, your background, because ultimately I just had someone walking in the back of my screen. I thought that was in the back of your room, so that just goes to show you how tired I am. But ultimately, tell us a little bit about, I suppose, your background, because you had a really high-profile career. But what sort of changed for you to now do Nucerity full-time?
So, yeah, I've always been sort of a well-known person in the community here in Cairns, but that's really, you know, time and energy and effort that I've put into, I guess, sort of making that happen, and just had some really awesome opportunities. And I think my personality is kind of suits being out in the public, and I'm pretty confident. I love having a chat, sometimes a bit too much. I'm usually on word limits or time limits. So yeah, I've been on the front cover of magazines. You know, people would always comment that if they didn't see me in the paper, they would wonder if I was sick or if something was wrong. I've been a television host as well for an event segment for Channel 7 News up here in Cairns. I've also worked with the radio stations in promotions and events with them, and often get to go on the radio and talk, which just suits me just fine. It's just the early starts that I'm not down with. 4 a.m. is a bit too early for me. And I've always been in the marketing and events industry as well. So I've ran some high-profile nightclubs here, and also was the face of the award-winning Salt House Restaurant and 2 Bars, which is right on the waterfront in Cairns. And to the point that even my Facebook page was called Olivia Salthouse, and people literally used to think that I owned Salt House. And I remember one of my events coordinators going into a bakery and hearing 2 people arguing that I did own the Salt House and that they'd met me and all these sorts of things. So yeah, I get a lot of people coming up to me and saying, oh, Olivia, I know you, we're Facebook friends. And I'm like, oh, yes, you, I remember you. No idea. So yeah, I have always been somebody that's been a big part of the community. So, and definitely like being at Salt House and being marketing events manager, general manager there, that kind of was me, and that was my identity. And, people identified me with Salt House as well. It wasn't just how I thought about myself. So coming into Nucerity, trialing the products, I never ever thought that I would make a career out of it. And that obviously wasn't my intention in the beginning. My intention was just to clear Pimple City from my face. Um, and yeah, it just, quite naturally people started coming up to me and saying, oh, wow, your skin looks really good. What have you done? Have you lost weight? All these sorts of things. And it wasn't. It was just literally that I'd lost Pimple City off the side of my face. So, yeah, I then just started talking about it, and people were like, yeah, I want to use these products, or my neighbor needs these products, or my sister needs these products, or you've got to meet my friend, she needs these products, or my boyfriend. And I just said to Annalisa, I was like, all these people like want to buy these products. What do I do? Like, do I just send them into your shop? And she's like, no, babe, you've got a business now. Like, you can sell these products to them. And I was like, what? What on earth? So kind of threw myself in the deep end, and actually I'll share a little bit more of that story. I threw myself in the deep end, and being an identity in Cairns and already knowing so many people and having the ability to talk to so many people, I just went about doing my own Nucerity business. I didn't follow the duplication system. I didn't follow any Nucerity system, actually. I created my own system, and that went really well for like a couple of months, but people were just buying the product, and then that was it. No one was duplicating. People were switching off their auto ship straight away because they didn't need to buy new product yet. And then I basically had to then go and resell it again for them to continue to buy the product. So when I started, I really, really did it the hard way around. Like, I probably got, I don't know, like 40 or 50 people in my business within the first month, and I was like top enroller every week, which was great. I didn't even know about that till like afterwards, because I wasn't tapped into any system. I was just like, no, I can do this. I've got this. I don't need anyone or anyone's system. And then all of a sudden, like, it just got really hard, and no one was buying, and like, I was like, oh man, I don't have time to keep going out and selling this to more and more people. Like, this is all just a bit too hard now. And that's actually when I got a call from you, Lil. And you were like, look, do you want to do this? And I was like, yeah, I want to do this. And you were like, no, do you really want to do this? And I was like, oh shit, like, yeah, I do really want to do this. And you were like, okay, well, if you want to do this, you need to be coachable, and you need to tap into the meetings, you need to tap into the systems, and you need to start doing this the Nucerity way. And I was like, ah. And so I remember even distinctly, you were like, I don't care what you've got on, nothing's more important than your Tuesday night training. And I was like, oh, okay. And then, so funny, once I started going to Tuesday night training, once I started tapping into the system, once I started being coachable, it all just got really easy. And, I started duplicating, and then my people started duplicating. And then, like, people weren't turning off their auto ship because they saw the value in it. And it just got easier and easier and easier. And I actually came into this business saying, I don't need any more friends. So I was quite arrogant in the beginning, I have to say, now that I'm being honest. And a lot of people saying, oh, this amazing, community, you're going to make heaps of friends. And I was like, I have enough friends. Like, I don't need any more. But now, like, the girls, especially in Cairns, some of my best friends, and I have a ball with them. I love hanging out with them. I love Tuesday nights. I love the people that I've met through this industry, such as yourself, Lil. Big shout out to my sister Kim, and Courtney in Sydney, and the girls in Canberra. Like, it's just, there's such an awesome community, and I'm so glad that I wasn't arrogant enough to let that shit go and just get on with being a part of the community and the culture learning the Nucerity system, because man, did it just get so much easier from there. And yeah, just being coachable, because since I made that decision, I've been coachable. I found out that Nucerity is not even just about, you know, bettering yourself in business and helping other people, you know, change their lives, but it actually changes your life. The personal development that I've gotten out of it is just, you couldn't even pay for it. It's priceless. So yeah, my whole view changed on life. I decided that I didn't need to work 100 hours managing such a successful venue, and it didn't matter if I wasn't there. You know, I could still be an identity in my own right, doing my own thing, and instead of getting people drunk every weekend, you know, I could actually do something really purposeful and really help change somebody else's life. So I can't even remember what the question was now, but there's a massive, you know, overview. I told you I can talk.
I love your enthusiasm, Olivia. Now, obviously, having started the hard way, which is cool, a lot of people might be able to identify with that even on the call, you know, sort of wanting to reinvent the wheel. Now that you sort of worked out the easy way to do this, what is it that you do? Just in a real nutshell, Liv, like, what do you do when new people join your team?
First thing
What's
I
the
do,
first
like,
thing, really? Yeah.
yeah. So step one for me is making sure that they know how to get around their websites and taking them through the getting started. And I pretty much take them through the getting started level 1, because it's got a really good mix of everything. So it's got, you know, I don't sit there and watch the team office training webinar with them, but I show them, go in here and have a look at that and go through your team office, and you can play around in your own time, because that would just be wasting, you know, time that I have with them. I go through, you know, finding out their why. When you find out their why, you then know how to motivate them and what does motivate them, because I've made the mistake over the years of assuming that somebody should use these products because they've got bad skin, but they wouldn't use the products. They just wouldn't even look at them. But as soon as I said there was an opportunity attached to it, like a year after I'd been pestering, and that they could make money, you know, they were straight in there. So you really got to, you know, if you've got somebody on board, make sure you know their why, so you know how to mentor and motivate them, and so you can be attached to that. And that was something that I had to relearn again. And also in there goes through the 2x2 duplication process. So even if they didn't come on with a success leader or builder pack, it means that then they can step up and start telling their people, you know, about the value in the success leader or builder pack. Because generally whatever somebody signs on with, they're going to duplicate with that. So you want them to always be duplicating with a success leader or builder. And if they haven't, you then need to, you know, continue to coach them through that and show them the value in it and get them to go through those activities and lessons in the level 1, so that they don't pass on whatever they came on with, and they pass on to come on with a success leader or builder pack. And then also in there, just discuss with them what their belief is, you know, in the products, in themselves, in Nucerity and in network marketing. And even if it's a 1 or a 2 or a 3 or a 0 at the start, doesn't matter. That's awesome, because you've got somewhere to go with that, and you know then what sort of coaching and mentoring you need to be doing with them and what sort of tasks you need to be giving them. And of course, if you can book in a home presentation with them then and there, that's just gold.
Absolutely. It's just getting in front of the people. And I love how, I suppose, now you're really implementing. It's really about meeting people where they're at. You know, if they are a product user, how can you support them as a customer, I suppose? And if they do want to actually earn money, you actually need to know how much money they want to earn, how fast they want to earn, how much time they can invest. And unless you ask those questions about the why and what they're needing to get out of it, you're not going to be able to sort of, I suppose, support them in the journey. Now, I know you're a really big fan, and it's one thing that you've definitely really grabbed by the horns, a 3-way, you know, third-party validation. So Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about that and how that sort of changed your business, Liv.
Yeah, so in the beginning it was all just me talking to people. But the second I tapped into doing the three-way calls, and even just taking somebody on a coffee date with you, you know, those sorts of things is just paramount. Even now, to this day, I could talk about Nucerity till I'm blue in the face, and I know it, well, I don't claim to know everything, but I know more than enough to let a newbie know and to intrigue them and get them, you know, on board. And I have 100% confidence behind that. However, even today, I had a Nucerity meeting or a coffee date with a potential person, and I still took Ingrid, my sister, along with me and let her do the talking. And even though I knew everything that she was saying, it doesn't matter. By taking somebody else there, that person that you're introducing it to can then see, hey, Olivia hardly did any talking. You know, yet my coffee date was with her. So, you know, I could probably do this too because I only need to know such a small amount, and I can just get one of those other girls, or I can get Ingrid, or I can get, you know, Krista, whoever you've introduced to do the talking for me. And I'll even let people know that when I'm in that coffee date. Like once they've said, yep, yeah, great, I love it, I'm going to sign on, you know, and I start talking to them about the opportunity and that sort of thing as well. I say, you know, that's why Ingrid's here today. I could have said all of that sort of thing, but then you would be worried that you would need to know everything before you got started in this business. And the best thing about this business, and I say it all the time, is you earn while you learn. So you take somebody else along with you. Even, you know, now, Lillian, I'm sure you still do it yourself. And it's just showing those people in the best possible way that they don't need to know all the information. There is going to be somebody there that supports them. So, yeah, whether it's
Absolutely.
three-way call or meeting. And, yeah, in the beginning, when I first started doing three-way calls with you, Lil, I was like, fuck, this is awesome. This is like a 10 out of 10 success rate. And I just got to sit there and listen. Sometimes I'd be washing the dishes or like hanging the washing out or like doing something, whatever. I'd be cleaning up. You know, you can do anything. You just get to sit there and listen in silence and learn while somebody else, you know, shares the information and basically does all the work for you. Like, how does it get any better than that?
And
So,
I love you
yeah,
just mentioned, for those I suppose that don't know, I love that you mentioned you actually took your sister Ingrid with you to the coffee meet, because essentially you actually brought Ingrid into the business. So it just shows that it doesn't have
yeah,
to necessarily be someone that enrolled you or someone of a higher rank. It really just needs to be that third party validation. And I absolutely love it because you're just simplifying the system and you're teaching people
yeah,
right from get-go how they're actually going forth to do it themselves. Now, you've obviously been to the events. We've got our first Australia conference coming up. You flew to the States with me to come and meet the founders and the doctors and stuff. What can you share what it's done for you, and I suppose what message can you send to people that haven't perhaps got their ticket yet or perhaps coming to a conference for the first time?
oh my God, if you haven't got your ticket yet and you didn't enroll just before today, then what's wrong with you, honestly? So I heard like right from the beginning from Eric Worre, you know, he was a really good mentor of mine and good little motivator. You know, always get to the events. The events is where you build your business. Like you just, whatever event it is, it doesn't matter, just get your ass there. And I'm pretty sure I haven't missed any events, you know, that Nucerity have put on, whether it's been like you awesome diamond leaders putting events on for us here or the company itself since I enrolled. And it's almost hard to even explain, but events is just where the magic happens. You know, you can see the possibilities. I remember going to an event in Ballina where I made an absolute fool out of myself on stage, but it didn't even matter. I came away from that event and I like literally had goosebumps. And I remember talking to your husband, Mick Lill, and he was like, you know, what did you get out of it? And I was like, the question of whether I'm going to do this or not do this doesn't even exist anymore. This is now just that I have to do this because you see what the culture is of the company, and I tell you what, I get it all day, like every day, I'm talking to somebody about network marketing, about Nucerity, and they tell me about a different network marketing group that is really toxic, and they try and steal each other's, you know, potential clients, like prospects, or, you know, like silly little things like that happening, and I'm just like, what? Nah. Nucerity is all about being one massive family, and it kind of sounds a bit corny or lovey-dovey or whatever, but you get to an event and you feel it, and you're like, I'm actually a part of something. And not only do the diamonds and the leaders and the staff of Nucerity care about me and care that I'm here, but the founders care that I'm here, you know, each one of them. And I've been to many events in my time and a lot of corporate events, and one thing that really stood out for me was that the diamonds and the founders and the staff, they don't all like sit up on some little VIP balcony and wear, you know, Armani suits and, you know, like don't talk to the others. Like, that's the complete opposite of what Nucerity is. Nucerity is the crown diamonds mixing with the silvers and the golds and the rubies and whoever. It doesn't matter if you're still an associate and you come along, like, you get to meet the most amazing people, and in no other industry have, or even other company, have I seen that or found that. And, you know, Ingrid, my sister, she came to San Diego with me, and she was like, now she's like besties with Maru, who's, you know, yellow or pink diamond out of Mexico, and it's like, you don't get to meet, you know, such influential people every day and then exchange phone numbers with them. Like, it's crazy. And that's just one little part of it. You know, I remember sitting in Vegas, and like, I was like freaking out. I'm like getting like heart palpitations. Sorry, I just grabbed my boobs. But get like, by the way, do you like my shirt? Nucerity. Was doing an event before I got on here today, everybody. So anyway, yeah, in Vegas, and I was like almost having like an anxiety attack and a freak out, because I was like, holy shit, the only thing that's going to stand in the way of, sorry, excuse that, I get excited. The only thing that's going to stand in the way of me being a crown diamond is me, because that's it. There is so much support. There is so many like awesome systems, like all of our websites that we get just at the click of a, yeah, confirm to pay button. You get help and mentorship and advice from, you know, all of the different leaders, no matter what rank. Even at the Gen Y in San Diego, they had like a Gen Y event. We're all mixing and mingling, and everyone was like, what's your most successful, you know, tip when doing IPAs? And you just learn, you know, from your competitors, and you don't get that in any other market. And I don't even believe you get that in any other network marketing company. They don't have the culture that we do, and you just need to just get there so you can see it and believe it, and then, you know what, put your dreams out and achieve them, because that's
Absolutely.
what events are all about.
And I absolutely love your passion and your excitement, Liv. And I do apologize for a couple of little, maybe R-rated little words in there. But hey, it's about real people and real results, and just about being ourselves. But just to wrap it up tonight, really quickly, Liv, what are your 2 nuggets that you want to share with the audience tonight?
Okay, so no is never a no. And like, I know we hear that all the time, but really just believe it. So never be upset if someone gives you a no. It just means they haven't seen enough value yet to make up their mind. So Michelle, one of our girls, the very first home launch we did for her, not one of those people came on board. 18 months later, every single one of those people that attended that event are now on board. So no is never a no. And always be generating. So make that your mantra, always be generating. It doesn't matter where you are, where you go. You can always be sharing the gift that we have, and that gift is Nucerity. I was in a coffee shop in Darwin, and I recognized the girl behind the counter, and it worked out that she'd worked with me at Salt House for like 3 months, and now she's leaving Darwin and moving to Canberra and needs a job. And I'm like, well, I'm always looking for new distributors in my skincare business, and she's like, oh my God, that'd be so amazing, and my skin gets so dry down there, so will it help me with, you know, my dry hands and stuff? And I'm like, these products are all about hydration. I've got you sorted, sister. And got her name and or like I already knew her name, but obviously got her number and her email address there, and I'm going to be catching up with her to set her up as a new distributor in Canberra. So you just, you know, it doesn't matter where you are, always be talking to people. The guy on the plane on the way home, I got talking to him, and he was like 50-something, and like drinking is 4x, and, you know, fisherman, pretty rough around the edges. And I got talking to him and found out he's got 2 daughters. One of them's just moved to Cairns. She doesn't have a job. She loves the beauty industry. So I'm going to catch up with her. So you just never know who you're going to meet and what it could lead to. So just always be generating.
Absolutely. It's just always about making conversation and showing interest in other people. Thank you so much, Liv. I am so appreciative that you ran out of an event to jump online with us tonight. Feel free to connect with her on Facebook if you've got any questions. But yeah, if you haven't got your tickets, guys, make sure you get them tonight. They are running low. We did get an email from corporate as Diamonds the other day saying that they were nearing the maximum capacity for the Sydney event. Even if you have to get a couple of extra tickets for your new distributors between now and then, that you can make sure that they can come along. Just make sure your team's there. Cannot wait to celebrate with you guys and to see you all there. Have an awesome night, and thanks for joining us tonight. See you guys.